welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, it's our job to give you some interesting bits in world sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across in an hour-long podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And we are here to give you the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Thank you guys for joining us on another week. We are here in the middle of August. Everything is rolling pretty smoothly. I know Mike's excited. We're going to get to some football news in just a bit.
Oh, yeah.
But before that, we'd like to do a little personal bit. What is up in Costanzo country, Mikey? What's happening?
We're just surviving the dog days of summer here.
Dinosaur days. I noticed.
I have a little dinosaur shirt on.
Yeah, Mike's got the dinosaur T-shirt on.
You stupid fucking dinosaur! Get the fuck out of here!
Sorry, Nicki Minaj.
For every Nicki Minaj, there has to be a Mikey C who loves dinosaurs.
That dinosaur been working my motherfucking nerves all night.
All night.
All night.
All night.
You got to say it with only your nose.
Yeah, all night.
All night.
So, yeah, we can't have too much dinosaurs.
No, not too much. No, luckily we won't have too many dinosaurs. But there was. So we had a surprise party for my older cousin this weekend, and somebody showed up in a giant inflatable unicorn like suit.
Unicorn.
Unicorn, like a giant pink unicorn.
So
like one of those like mascot things, the big. Yeah.
So I don't know if Nicki Minaj would approve of this.
I don't know.
You stupid fucking dinosaur! Get the fuck out of here!
Because as we know, she doesn't like people in dinosaur costumes.
Well, do unicorns and dinosaurs occupy the same like creature space in her mind?
We'd
like,
have
are they the same like vibe?
Right, we'd have to go to the source, I guess.
Well, dinosaurs were real.
Oh, yeah.
Unicorns are not.
Yeah, so I guess.
Well, I mean, some people.
Fantasyland does that. Yeah.
Some people think dinosaurs were fake, but
we're not gonna get into that.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
they were very, very real.
Yeah, but we have to ask Nicki Minaj on that.
We'll have to X her. On
X her.
X her.
X her.
X her.
Yeah.
Do you
You mean on Twitter?
Well, on X.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called anymore. Do you see every article? It's like on X, formerly known as Twitter,
no.
because it's such a stupid name. Every single news outlet has to tell people, like, yes, this is the thing that used to be Twitter. It's so dumb.
Damn Elon Musk.
Anyway,
that's
what I was doing. I was at a surprise party with a giant inflatable unicorn and trying to figure out if it's X or Twitter.
Yeah.
Rich, what were you up to?
I finished God of War finally, and only
okay. So like a year later, what's the review?
Has it been a year?
It's November is a year.
All right. I mean, look, all right. There was
You're
a lot
like
of
a few months off.
There's a lot of things that was
That's
going
true.
on.
That's
so
true.
But
like 9 months later, how was it?
I think I did it in reasonable time.
Within a year is pretty good for video games.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Fantastic. Yeah. It's amazing how God of War has just been hit after hit after hit. I love the story in this one. The combat was a lot of fun. The worlds were a lot of fun. I'm just amazed that they still keep the quality as high as they usually do. And I want more. I can't wait for what they're going to do next.
It's always tough when you finish a game like that because it leaves a void and you're like, well, nothing's going to compare to this.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for the next game to try and maintain that level of prestige.
Yeah.
It just hit on everything. The story was good. The gameplay was good. I just had a lot of fun.
I remember when it came out, I was wondering, like, can it live up to the potential of the first one? Because the first one was so different, so much fun, so unique. I was like, can they capture it again? And I think they did, and they exceeded what they did in the 2018 version.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yep. So that's my media bit because
all right,
that was on my to-do list for a long time.
Hey, that's a big accomplishment finishing.
And that was a pretty massive game.
It's a big game. So now that you've finished it, remember all those times I was alluding to one level that was very confusing and was like kind of like a slog? It was Vanaheim.
Yeah, Vanaheim.
What did you think of Vanaheim now that you've seen it all and done it all?
Yeah, it's a
pain, right?
Yeah, it's a little tedious.
It's like the one knock against the game.
And the crater level of
Oh,
that. They
man.
throw it to you like near the end of the game.
You're
so
like
it's like whoa.
80% of the way through, and like, by the way, here's an entire world of just side missions.
Yeah,
It's like,
take care
what?
of this before you finish the final mission.
Yeah. Oh
So,
man, that was
but-
a beast of a level. But anyway,
But yeah, it was still a lot of fun.
yeah.
I love upgrading the weapons and the armor. I don't know. There's something about that I don't know. Just I like
It just
going
scratches
into
a particular itch for you.
yeah. I like going into like what strengths do I want? What do you call it? The traits or something?
Yeah.
Where you get like a special ability for certain
Right.
armors. I don't know. That part's cool to me. Is like
You can really like tinker it the way that you like to play.
yeah
Like you can have a lot of different builds. So like I focus on kind of like a speed, like getting off like abilities really quick type of build. I always like in video games to play like kind of almost like a glass cannon type build where you do a lot of damage real quick and like just get in really like aggressively. What kind of build do you like? How did you play?
I know for the Blades of Chaos, I put bombs on my
You're always like an explosives person. You're
Yeah.
like area of damage type.
yeah
Yeah.
because that way if there's
You just spread your chaos.
right if there's 10 enemies on me, I can just whip something that
Yeah.
affects everybody.
Okay.
And then for the axe, I think I did that too. It was something like the heavy attack was like it created like a cyclone around the axe. It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah. That's another thing too, is like the attacks are really cool. I mean, it's just a really well made game.
I love switching back and forth between all the different weapons and like getting off your abilities like one after another and kind of like comboing things together
Yeah.
and learning like the, good combinations to keep an enemy staggered or, like locked down.
Yeah. And also, I just something like I was telling Rachel about is like I feel like God of War grew up with us.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
looking back on the first 3 God of Wars that are centered around Roman mythology.
Greek.
Or,
Yes.
sorry, Greek. Sorry.
Well,
Whatever.
I mean, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Anyway, like like those first 3 games are pure like teenage.
Well, the first game opens up with like kill this giant snake monster and also have a sex mini game.
Yeah,
Like you're like 7. Well, no, we were younger than 17, but like teenagers like
yeah, boobies.
Yeah.
Give me those boobies.
But they did grow up.
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
Yes, exactly. That's what Athena does.
That was
right?
the plot of God of War 1.
That's the first mission.
Yeah.
In God of War.
Every female enemy. First off, all the enemies were female, and they were all topless.
Yeah.
Like you're right. There was something about that game that was like inherently immature.
Yes.
Like I know the Greeks and all those people like to walk around like semi-nude back in the day, but like God of War took it to a different
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fight this monster. It just happens to be like Medusa with the biggest boobs in the world.
Yeah. Take that. Good. It's a distraction. Good luck. Yeah.
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
Yeah.
Look, Kratos looked at Medusa and he turned to stone.
Actually, no. He beat Medusa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yes.
But no, they did grow up.
Yeah.
They did grow up. Like to the point where this last one, without spoilers, like it's so much more about I don't know how to frame it without spoilers, but it's like so mature.
Yeah.
It's vaguely
There's-
it's about a father and son relationship, which is like a really like heavy big topic.
Yeah, and there's elements of loyalty and elements of regret and like trying to make things right, but
Yeah.
at what cost?
Right.
Yeah, like
It's like-
it really has grown up as we have grown up.
Yeah. Do you give into like the cycle of family trauma or do you forge a new path? It went from like mash X to boob
Yeah.
to mash X to repair your relationship. Like it's
mash circle to rub around nipple area.
yeah. It's like the evolution over
Use
what,
right
like,
joystick to massage.
it's all about the right joystick.
Yes, you got to have the right joystick.
Yeah. But watching that evolution,
Something just came over me and I took my clothes off.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's grown up as
Yeah.
we have grown up.
absolutely.
So
No, they're fantastic games.
yes. So there we go. That was our collective weekends. There you go. Take that.
Good stuff.
But we do have some news to get to, so without further ado, let's jump into the first batch of topics that revolve around sports in the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
Yep, sports coming at you in your face here, and we have somewhat breaking news. I mean, this is kind of happening. The injury of this happened a couple days ago, but the comments from teams literally happened today, and it's causing maybe some members of Cincinnati to panic. And that is one of the favorites to win the AFC. The Cincinnati Bengals may have suffered a little bit of a mid-major injury with Joe Burrow. He has a strained calf muscle. And, you know, we're about to head into preseason, so the regular season's not that far off.
Yeah.
The initial prognosis was he would need a few weeks to recover. So when you heard that at this time in the season, I think people just said, "Oh, he'll just be out for the preseason."
Right.
But Jamar Chase had a weird interview in which he said that, quote, "I don't want him on the field," end quote, too early. He only wants Joe Burrow to return when he is 100% healthy, which he says he's looking at around week 5. So
I
is
don't
this
know.
a serious calf injury that they're not letting us know about? Or is Jamar Chase just dumb? Or
This may be one of those cases where, like, it's lost in translation. Like, Jamar Chase hears from, a trainer who worked on Burrow and kind of like, whisper down the lane, like, oh, 5 weeks turns into week 5.
you think it's that simple?
It could be because a calf.
That's kind of really stupid if it is.
Sometimes people mishear things. Sometimes people misspeak because a strained calf should not sideline a player for, at this point, 9 weeks. Like if we're going from when the injury happened to week 5, that's like 9 weeks.
9 weeks is a little long, but I have heard that when you are dealing with like tissue injuries, it's wildly variable.
Okay.
It could be, you feel better next week and you're ready to go, or it could be a nagging problem and it takes a while.
I've heard that's what's wrong with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, is that he would keep on trying to come back and that he would feel good, but then when he gets to game speed, that little bit of extra pressure on the joints and the ligaments makes it, like feel bad. If it is true, if it is week 5, you do want to be cautious and you don't want to bring out players before they're ready because we've seen that end disastrously.
Yeah. So here it is. I just wanted to give everyone just up to speed here. This would be the first 5 games. So here's your scenario, Cincinnati, if you're worried about, risk-reward situation here about rushing Burrow back. Week 1 is at the Browns, an Ohio matchup.
Okay. Division rivalry.
Yep. Week 2 is versus the Ravens at home.
A second division rivalry.
Week 3 is versus the Rams.
Okay.
Week 4 is at Tennessee Titans.
That could be a tough one.
And then week 5 is at the Cardinals.
I could see them without Burrow easily losing about like 3 of these games.
I think if they win 2 of those, they're fine. I think they.
You think just 2 is fine?
I think if they win 2, they're fine. And then you get a healthy Burrow. I think the ship.
You
is
think
still
starting
fine.
the season 2-3 in the AFC is okay?
I think look, this is not ideal. You can't put this against ideal situations.
Okay.
Look,
because there's like 2 other playoff teams in this first 5.
Unless Joe Burrow is suddenly fine, and then you're good to go, then this whole conversation is a moot point. But I think you have to at least take into consideration Burrow may have a little bit of a lingering issue here. Jamar Chase is talking like he's going to be out for a while.
I mean, obviously, if it's serious, he can't start. But, I think he's going to be ready for the start of the season. I don't think he's going 9 weeks with a calf strain.
I would hope not.
That just seems
but
ridiculous. Maybe like week 2.
Yeah. So, right. So the risk-reward situation is when do you expect him to come back in those 5 games? Because that's a rough 2 weeks to start out with. at the
You know
Browns.
what? Bring him back against the Rams.
Yeah, I think that's a safe spot because he should
Because
be able to handle the Rams.
Here's my logic.
even if he's hurt.
Here's my logic. Is that the Browns and the Ravens, you could potentially lose those games even with Burrow.
Right.
Those are tough division games to start off the season. Especially the Ravens. I mean, the Browns and the Ravens both have kind of like nasty defenses. Not good nasty, but just kind of like nasty.
I
What?
like that description.
No, I mean, like, the Ravens always have kind of a history of
Yeah.
being a little bit rougher around the edges there with opposing quarterbacks. But the Rams, they're kind of soft. They're on a downswing. I know they got Aaron Donald.
The Rams are rebuilding. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely rebuilding.
Look, they cashed in on a Super Bowl. They're fine.
They got theirs. Bring him back against the Rams. He should be able to win against them. He gets the extra 2 weeks of rest. Doesn't have to face the division opponents. You win those next 3, Rams, Titans, Cardinals. You start the season 3-2. I know it's only one game, but when you're in the same conference as the Chiefs, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Titans, every win, the Jags are going to be on the up and up. Every win counts. You know,
Yes.
so to start 2-3 versus 3-2, it doesn't seem like a lot. That could be the difference between a wild card and like one of those top 2 seeds.
Could be. But I'm under the assumption, going by Jamar Chase, that this is more serious than I think people are letting on.
But here's another question that you have in the rundown here. I mean, do they even
Oh.
have to settle for
Yeah.
losing any games in those first 5 if they go
'Cause
with
there
another backup?
There is a suggestion here because right now the backup is Trevor Siemian, and you may be confident in Trevor Siemian,
I don't know
but-
who is, but somebody out there might be.
but there are a couple quarterbacks in free agency, and one of our former players is still out there wearing his helmet from the Eagles for some reason. Did you see that photo?
I think it was a Photoshop photo.
No, they're saying it was real. It
It was real. I think he was making a joke because he
Yeah.
had something from every team that he's played for.
Yeah, Wentz had an Eagles helmet,
It was a Commanders
Washington jersey, and Colts shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Look.
he's in free agency right now.
I'll say this.
Could the Bengals call up a backup here, a new backup?
I'm not a huge fan of Carson Wentz, as people on the podcast know. But the fact that he made that type of self-deprecating humor actually, to me, shows a little bit of growth, a little bit of self-awareness, right?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, in years previous, do you think he would have done something like that?
I guess you're right.
So he's a little bit older. He's a little bit wiser. He's been humbled.
I think he realizes, he doesn't have a job right now.
Right. He's been humbled time and again. But the biggest thing here is you could put him in a situation in Cincy where he's never quite had something like that before, even with the Eagles. I mean, being able to throw to Jamar Chase, a gunslinger like Carson Wentz, like as good as Alshon was, Jamar Chase is a completely
he's
different
better.
pantheon. Completely different. I think they still have a decent ground game, right?
Oh yeah,
Decent
Joe Mixon.
Decent defense. Carson Wentz could actually thrive in an offense like that as a backup. I'm not saying go in and start all 17.
Yeah.
But you don't need to start Trevor Siemian. You can bring in Carson Wentz, and he could have his own backup Cinderella story. He might enjoy the opportunity to kind of rewrite that part of his history. You know, he could be the backup that saves the season. If he comes in, wins 3 or 4 games, and then just rides the bench the rest of the year as Joe Burrow leads them to a Super Bowl, potentially, that wouldn't be a bad way to have the 2023 season go down for him.
Yeah. So
And the Bengals could, if Carson Wentz comes in with Carson Wentz and Jamar Chase, with Carson Wentz's like weird ability to create plays out of nothing, and then having the safety valve of Jamar Chase, he could win 3 or 4 of those games.
Yeah. So it could be an intriguing call if the Bengals are considering it. But
Where do you? I mean, is it weird that Carson Wentz is still out there, unsigned?
I see. To me,
Like, I know he's not good, but he's not
you're-
that bad.
Well, see, here's the thing. You're going the one way on the photo that you think he's getting better. I don't know. To me, the fact that he hasn't been signed onto a team by now kind of
Still
leads me to believe that
Big, loud red flags.
that teams don't trust him. Teams think if they sign him, he's going to be a cancer. There's something
statistically he was not bad.
No, but
he's
locker
still
room.
he's still.
He wants to be the leader, and it's like, sorry, we have 32 starting quarterbacks. You're not going to be a leader.
There's not many teams out there that are looking right now.
No.
I don't think there's any really.
Yeah. Like, by this point, especially now that we're getting ramped up for the preseason games, the depth charts are pretty much getting solidified.
LOL. Bill Belichick should sign him. If Mac Jones doesn't wear out, Carson Wentz comes in as the backup, takes over, leads the Patriots to win a Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. No.
All right, that's a weird sitcom you're writing over there.
Carson Wentz would be so happy. No, I honestly think it's a little weird he hasn't been signed because quarterbacks are at a premium. He has starting jobs on his resume. He's never gotten over the hump. He's, not like fantastic, but Trevor Siemian,
yeah,
whoever is backing up Mac Jones, Zach Wilson. Like, I mean, there's teams out there that are running with quarterbacks that are like.
Well, the Jets are still hoping Zach Wilson pans out.
Yeah,
that's the post Aaron Rodgers plan.
I'm just saying, there's teams out there that could use. I mean, he was a starting caliber quarterback. Starting is a broad term.
Yes,
but he's better than a lot of second stringers out there.
I think you also have the stench of Washington. Like,
you got to let it air out a little bit.
Yeah, if you can't make it in Washington, you need a year to recover.
Neither could Kirk Cousins. I just hate Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, no, Kirk Cousins, he was doing fine in Washington.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was not.
Yes, he was.
No, he was not. He was 8-8 every single year he was there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the by the records, but like he wasn't like flopping around. Like, you make it sound like he was not contributing at all. Like,
he wasn't.
All right, who's worse?
Kirk Cousins.
No.
Yes.
Wait.
Carson Wentz has won games.
Going into 2023, right now, if you were creating the roster for an NFL team, you would rather have Carson Wentz than Kirk Cousins.
I don't like Kirk Cousins.
But
I don't trust him. Hold on, I'm gonna.
Oh my God, Mike, that's
What?
really bad. Really?
Is it though?
Carson Wentz is a head case.
I mean, you could argue Kirk Cousins is. I mean, they're like.
Kirk Cousins. The only thing is he can't produce in the big time games.
That's the same knock against Carson Wentz.
Yeah, but Carson Wentz is being like allegedly being just bad behind the scenes in the locker room. At least people's kind of like Kirk Cousins.
I don't know why. I don't know. I don't trust him. He costs too much for too little payoff. He's only had like 2 double-digit win seasons in an 11-year career.
Right. So that alone.
I mean,
going into 20. I don't know. That's. I feel like we should make that a poll or something. Which quarterback would? Carson Wentz isn't on an NFL roster. How can you? All right. Mike's willing to roll the dice. There you go.
Well, because he's cheaper, and he's going to give you the same number of wins at the end of the day. No, I mean, seriously, he's cheaper. He gives you the same number of wins. Why pay $90 million for somebody who's going to get you 9 wins? You could pay $9 million to somebody who's going to get you 9 wins.
Because I don't think it's a guarantee Carson Wentz gets you 9 wins.
That's where he was getting almost everywhere except for Washington. But
Yeah.
Washington was a disaster.
Yeah.
You can't go by Washington.
Okay. So Mike is willing to let the stench of Washington wash over and give Carson Wentz another shot, but I don't know about that.
I'm just saying I don't like Carson Wentz, but I think that he's better than some options out there. I think that he just needs a change of pace and a chance to prove himself with a real NFL roster, not the Washington Commanders. Because statistically in Indy, he did a good job. The last game he collapsed, but the rest of the season he was like perfectly adequate for them. There's a lot of teams out there that just need an adequate quarterback.
Okay, so we'll have to put that up on our social media, see if we get a poll on that.
I know which way it's going to go. I don't care.
But now with that aside, I know last week we talked about some dissing on Jalen Hurts. He was getting dissed on by The Athletic in their ranking of QBs. They ranked him as a tier 2 quarterback, which we talked about last week, how it was an insult to us. But this week, it looks like we went a complete 180 now, and now Jalen Hurts getting some dap from What is this from NFL.com?
It's the NFL. It's the annual NFL Top 100. All the rankings have been revealed. The Eagles have 7 players in the top 100, which is a lot. But specifically, Jalen Hurts leading the pack of these Philadelphia Eagles players at the number 3 spot, behind, of course, Patrick Mahomes and Justin Jefferson.
There you
At
go.
1 and 2 respectively.
Give him some dap, Mike.
The dap.
There you go.
How do you give somebody dap?
Give him the dap.
What is that?
Yeah.
Is this some 1950s phrase?
Not 50s, but yeah, it's an older
60s? 40s?
Thank you.
Which direction are we going?
Yeah, thank you. But yes, this is the new hotness here.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
So,
but
the Atlantic ranked him the 6th best quarterback.
Right,
But the NFL players were like, no, he's clearly the second best.
Yeah,
The second best quarterback.
Second best quarterback and third best overall
player.
Take that, Athletic.
And this is now, I guess you could make, as I said, you can make an argument for Josh Allen and Joe Burrow being ahead of Hurts. But realistically, you can't rank him lower than 4th. He only lost the Super Bowl by 3 points. He scored the most points in a Super Bowl by a losing team ever.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The Athletic knock was he hasn't done a 2-minute drill.
He hasn't done a 2-minute drill.
That was some nonsense.
So what do you think is more accurate here? I think I know which way you're going to go, but the Athletic or the NFL players?
NFL players. Yeah, I think that's more closer to the truth.
Yeah, I would say even if you don't believe he's the second best quarterback overall, like I could see the knock of, he needs like another year to prove it's sustainable. Because Carson Wentz, going back to the last topic, he did it 1 year.
And then
he only got like halfway there every other year. So Hurts has to prove he can do it 2 years in a row. But if he comes back this year and repeats his performance, I think it's without a question. He is in the same breath as Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I agree as well. But the advantage is he's on the NFC side, so there you go.
There's no competition on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for the record, the players that are listed in the top 100 that are the Philadelphia Eagles, number 100, Devonta Smith.
I love that. Can we just go through these one by one? I love Devonta Smith making the list.
Yes.
Because I feel like he does not get enough recognition. Do you know he broke the Eagles' receiving record for number of receptions this past season?
No, wow.
Yeah. He had like 90-some receptions, and everybody's just like...
Now give him some dap.
Dap.
Yeah.
How do you give somebody dap? You're asking me to do something I don't... Dap.
Dap. There you go. Perfect. Give him some dap.
Is it dap with a P or is it dab with a B?
No, dap. P.
Dap.
P-A-P.
Dap.
There you go.
I assume that's how it works.
Yes. Good job.
Yeah.
Number 65, Darius Slay, cornerback.
I like that. He kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think he's still clearly one of the best at his position.
Number 48, Hassan Reddick.
Absolutely. I'm surprised he was that low. Didn't he lead the league in sacks? Or was close to it? He had like 17.
Yeah, he had a good amount. I don't know if he led the league, but yeah, he definitely had a good amount. Number 41, Lane Johnson,
now,
legend.
This one, I think. What do you think? Is this too low? I think it's too low. Lane Johnson hasn't let up a sack in 2 straight seasons. Like 0.
Yeah.
Not like a few sacks. Absolutely none.
Yeah. I guess it's just tough because this
right
100. Tackle. Well, just the fact that this is top 100 players.
Right.
How do you judge like a tackle's more important than
a wide receiver?
Yeah, like
or a quarterback.
It's very subjective.
Okay. So you're comfortable with the number 41?
I give it to the list. That's fine.
All right.
Number 37, Jason Kelce, another legend.
Absolutely.
Yep. Number 22, A.J. Brown. Boy, does Tennessee feel dumb.
Yeah.
And then we have number 3, Jalen Hurts. So there you go.
I like the 7 players on here.
Yeah.
I think we had a pretty good showing there.
Yep. Very good. And it's a good indication going into this upcoming season. I mean, Eagles got depth.
Yeah, we do. We do. And I guarantee you, if this had been a list of top 150 players, you would see another couple Eagles on there. Dallas Goedert, Jordan Mailata.
People forget about Dallas Goedert.
He's easily a top 5-ish tight end.
Yeah.
Easily.
I mean,
If he stays healthy, he's right up there.
yeah. So it's going to be a very interesting season for the Eagles coming up.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that the Eagles didn't pay a lot for is running backs, and that may be a symptom of the current NFL market here, because there are just some problems with the running backs here.
All over the league.
They are not getting paid.
No.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean,
you have this quote here from Melvin Gordon that
yeah, I mean, perfect case here. This is a former 2-time Pro Bowler, running back Melvin Gordon, speaking up recently about the state of running backs, saying simply, quote, "We're kind of screwed."
Oh, no! We suck again!
yeah, that's pretty much the vibe here.
I mean, does he have a point? Is is that a little dramatic, or do you think that's a valid assessment of the state of running backs?
No, honestly, that's not an overreaction. I think that's pretty much spot on. The running back position has been devalued. It's not worth it to pay a lot of money to a first-string running back anymore. There really aren't any bell cow running backs anymore. Every team kind of has running back by committee now. I mean, that motto, running back by committee, I mean, you just have this tendency to just be like, just throw another running back in. You don't need, the top 5 running back to win the Super Bowl. Look, literally the Chiefs, Pachenko, 7th round draft pick.
I still don't know who that guy is. Or
7th round draft pick. That's it.
He gashed us.
Yeah, you don't need an elite running back to go deep anymore.
And especially with some of these teams, the way the NFL has been going with focusing on the pass, but specifically with the outstanding play of some offensive lines around the league, these teams with really strong offensive lines, like the Eagles, they realize we don't need to pay a premium to get the same type of production. If you have an offensive line like the Philadelphia Eagles or Dallas Cowboys or any of these teams with a really strong front, you can put anybody back there. I mean, Tony Pollard came out of nowhere. The Dallas Cowboys. He's like, okay, I'm just going to take the starting job from the former best running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like, ta-da. And nobody batted an eye. They're like, cool, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And look, another Ezekiel Elliott, still a free agent. Nobody's picked him up.
And even though Tony Pollard just unseated him, he's playing under the tag, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
So it the point that I'm making here is it's just, just recycling, reusing, just revolving door.
Yep. And I just want to add a quick story here.
Yeah.
This is also somewhat recent news here. Jonathan Taylor has been in a little bit of a talk fight here with the Colts. He wants to get more money. Well, on the heels of that, Kareem Hunt was supposed to be signing with the Saints. I got a news bulletin before we started the show. He's conveniently flying to Indianapolis all of a sudden.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There you go, Jonathan Taylor. You're out of a job.
There you go. It is not a prime position anymore. Running back has been really devalued now.
It's crazy because it's still one of those positions in college that you still see highlighted a lot. And then when they make the transition to the NFL, it's just like, who cares?
Yeah.
Everybody was shocked when Bijan Robinson was taken so high in the draft.
Yeah.
And then the Lions took 2 running back / hybrid players in the first round, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or close to it.
Yeah, and that's why they got rid of DeAndre Swift and traded him to us.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is a problem that running backs can solve.
Howie is spending just as much money on the 4 running backs currently on our roster than what who did we have last year?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. What his salary cap hit is with the Panthers.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
Look
crazy.
it up.
That's crazy. And I know some people will be out there and be like, what about Christian McCaffrey? What about, and they'll name a running back that, is still performing at a high level and getting, a decent salary. And to them, I'll say there's probably a correlation between those salaries and players who are gadget players. Like Christian McCaffrey's not a traditional running back.
No, he's a gadget player.
Yeah, he's not going to be a 3-down, ground and pound, 4.1 yards per carry type running back.
1,000 rushing attempts.
No, he's going to catch as many passes in, swing routes out of the backfield, screens, as he is going to, actually run the ball. that's what you need to be. That's what Bijan Robinson coming out of the draft was saying. He's like, I'm going to be that player. You know,
Yeah.
I think the traditional
there's no bell cow running back anymore.
Remember like 10 years ago where fullbacks just disappeared
Yeah.
and they became like power running backs and like fast running backs? Now, like running backs are going to disappear. It's going to be like gadget players like McCaffrey or some other.
Everybody
term.
needs to be a receiving option.
Yes. Yeah, you can't have a running back. You can't. There's no more like Jerome Bettis or Sean Alexander.
No. Right.
It's just not a thing. Even Adrian Peterson's like they're not a thing anymore.
Nope.
That's why. That's why I don't know who's dumber, Saquon Barkley or the Giants. Like that whole situation. He's like, I want more money, and the Giants like, we're gonna tag you. He's like, I don't want to play under the tag. They're like, cool, we'll just give you a 1-year contract for the exact same amount of money.
Yeah, for what an extra $1 million in incentives. That's it.
No, I don't even think it was that much. It was like a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
You
very
could
little.
have done like a sandwich deal in New York and gotten just as much money.
Yeah.
Like-
throw in a hot pastrami sandwich.
Right, throwing a hot, but yeah, like I don't know. He kind of like messed up the whole market.
Yeah.
But
But it shows you that the running backs don't have the power.
they don't.
No.
I mean, this year all the running backs are trying to hold out, and one by one they're all either replaced or they signed like weirdly, bad deals. Even though Saquon's getting a lot of money, this is his last deal.
yeah.
Like he's going to play this year, and then never going to see that type of money again.
Nope. So good luck running backs because, yeah, it's going to be a tough market for the rest of the decade.
I kind of feel bad for them, but it's just the evolution of the game.
Yeah. And it's probably going to stay that way because the collective bargaining agreement doesn't get renewed until 2030. So good
Yeah.
luck with
Yeah.
that.
We will see.
Mothers, don't let your players grow up to be running backs. That should be the new song. I have to get some lyrics to that.
Yeah, that's it's going to be a hit.
Yeah.
It's going to go double diamond,
Double diamond,
platinum.
dap, double
Jubilee.
diamond dap.
Ooh.
There you go. I'm going to have my own status.
Dap.
Diamond, double diamond dap. Take that.
What even is this term? Is it real?
Yes, it is. It's or the new kids are saying now giving them their flowers. Did you hear about that?
What? No.
Yeah.
Are you just making stuff
No,
up now?
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I am really not making up the thing about
Giving them some
flowers.
flowers?
Yeah, that's like I've heard that being used in circles.
Use it in a sentence.
Instead of respect, you say flowers. So I don't know.
I'm going to be like, you'd be like, Mike, give Kirk Cousins some flowers.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll send him a nice bouquet.
There you go.
God.
Yeah, it's a weird future we're about to go into in 2023. And you know what? Speaking of looking forward, looking towards the future, we have to look forward to the next 3 minutes because
That's about all I can handle.
right. And that's because we have this segment called the 3-minute drill, where we're going to tackle a topic in 3 minutes or less. You ready, Mike?
Let's do it.
And the clock is armed. There you go. 3 minutes.
All right. Well, we didn't mention this at all the past couple of weeks, but the Women's World Cup soccer tournament has been going on. It's the World Cup, right?
Look, you put this in the rundown, so you want to talk about soccer? It's your decision.
Yeah, it's the FIFA Women's World Cup. As everyone is probably aware, the U.S. women's team has been dominant in the world of soccer for many years now.
They were.
Unfortunately, they have officially been eliminated from competition in a...
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Sorry, nope.
Yeah, no, it was a heartbreaker. They lost in penalty kicks by literally centimeters as the Swedish team took a shot, and it was initially blocked or batted in the air by the U.S. goalie, and it like rolled back and it like broke the line. It was like kind of like a football, like break the plane. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
like a hair over or whatever it was, and everybody was shocked, but it was official. They had the replay. You know, what do they call it? I don't know. They challenge it. I don't know. I'm trying to use football terms for football.
Yeah, you're trying. I don't know what to tell you, Mike.
I don't know. You know, this is what happens when you research something 10 minutes before the show. So the digital referee, whatever system, the replay.
I like this. Mike is trying to describe soccer. Go ahead.
Dude, I don't. I'm just gonna say the call came from New York. They did an official challenge replay, and it was overruled.
The world is in New York.
The world was in New York, obviously, but no,
Yes.
it was overturned or whatever, confirmed that it had broken the plane of the end zone, and
And there you go. It's
and
over.
Sweden scored a touchdown.
It's over.
And it's over. It's unfortunate, though, in all seriousness. This is the earliest exit ever for the U.S. women's team in a major tournament. It's really shocking.
Yes. It's sad to say because, look, as Americans, you want the American team to go deep, but that's a tough loss. And unfortunately, no women's World Cup for Team America here. So
Soccer will fade into obscurity for
once again, as it should be.
That's right.
Bah humbug. This is America.
We're so bad.
Yeah.
The whole world is like, woo, soccer. And I'm like, Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
That's the extent of soccer.
On a personal note, I hate soccer. Do you know that?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, from my gambling experience, because ties are a separate result. If a tie happens, you still lose the bet.
Which is why ties suck.
It's absolutely moronic. Get out of here with soccer. I have had enough. There you go. Scream.
I always said ties suck.
Yes, but they really do in soccer bets because that counts as a loss. You don't get your money back.
I've always said ties should be a loss. If you tie, you suck.
So actually, you agree with the sports gambling websites then?
Yes, I am 100% in agreement.
You should have been a bookie then.
If I should have been a bookie, I
Yeah.
missed my true calling.
The only problem is you can't math.
No, I can't.
That's a very
man.
essential skill.
I really can't.
Yeah. We were trying to do some numbers with the lottery, the Mega Millions lottery being $1.5 billion payout, and Mikey
man.
completely forgot a set of zeros.
I was like, yeah, we only need like 4 people to raise $90 million to win $250, and it was like all over the place.
Yeah, I was like, Mike, you're
It
definitely
was.
wrong.
I don't know what I did. I was doing some kind of weird math.
Yeah, you were doing fuzzy math.
I was using a Clevin.
Yeah, 11.
How do you like that reference?
Yeah, wow.
Go look it up. The Office.
Clevin, yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, that got me home by 7.
Very good. So there you go. On that note, we got to leave the sports realm. That shows you how far off we ended with the lottery,
Yeah, I don't know.
the ultimate sport,
The ultimate sport.
the lottery. So on that note, we got to take a break. We're going off the rails. But we're going to regroup, and we're going to come back with the entertainment entree and then the non-fortune cookie odd news when we return. Don't go anywhere. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 in the morning, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
That clip is already coming into play.
yes,
I love it.
already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on? That was
I don't
weird.
know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the
What?
fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the
I
hell?
don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Basically, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh my god.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're gonna have to excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart
and
once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then
Yeah.
Amazon can determine what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder.
Oh.
I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Ooh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We are done the Sports Sampler.
I miss Barry.
Yeah, it's a good show. That's
I was
right.
just listening to the music.
Yep, this is
Seasons 1 through 3 specifically.
Yep, this is the theme from those seasons.
Anyway, sorry.
yeah, that's
Totally
fine.
threw you off.
That's fine. Look, HBO has a fine selection of shows.
They do. You've been watching White Lotus.
Yep. I'm almost done White Lotus, and I can't wait to finish it. It's so good.
I got to get in on that.
There's, I know
we jump straight into entertainment.
Let's officially jump
Let's
into
do it, let's
entertainment
do it.
entree here.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, so officially now in entertainment entree time. So yeah, there's a lot of good HBO shows to catch up on because right now I'm going through White Lotus, and you mentioned Barry. Yeah, it's just there's we're going to be coming up on some dire times here with the Hollywood writers and directors strike starting to take effect on projects, but I feel like it might actually be beneficial because there are some things, that might have fallen through the cracks that you didn't get a chance to watch or catch up on. And
we'll have to start a new segment instead of like This Week in Entertainment. It was like what happened like years ago in entertainment.
What did you miss? Yeah.
Well, for example, I mean,
what to binge?
Everybody has stuff in their backlog that they never got to. Like what was it, earlier this year, I finally finished The Sopranos after like 3 decades.
Yeah, there you go.
But like The Wire, I wanted to watch The Wire on HBO.
Yeah.
And that's an older one, but White Lotus is a newer one. There's like tons of shows out there.
Go back to what I was going to say for White Lotus. There's a category in the Emmys. I think it's Best Supporting Actor.
Okay.
It's literally just people from the White Lotus and people from Succession.
Oh, really?
It's like 4 from each.
Oh, wow.
So literally, it's like this is like I know like everybody in that category. I'm just like, wow, this like.
So who should win it?
I know it's crazy.
You're the best person to say.
Yeah, because they all have memorable roles in that category.
That's tough. I always found it weird when multiple people from the same show are nominated because
you feel like that splits the vote.
It usually splits the vote because if the show is that good, like Succession, like how do you pick one of the siblings to be like the best supporting actor or actress? Like it's like,
well, they did a smart thing by putting them all in the lead category.
Oh, well, that's still tough, but yeah.
Yeah. So the supporting actors are all pretty much like Matthew McFadden, the guy that plays Cousin Greg, the guy that plays Alan
Greg.
Ruck.
That's gotta be
and Skarsgård, Alexander Skarsgård.
No, it's Greg.
It's Greg.
I'm still.
You love Greg.
I'm
yeah.
still hashtag Team Greg, man. I
You love
still,
Greg.
Greg Session.
Nicholas Braun. That's his name, right? I'm pretty sure that's him.
I just like, I forget what season it was where he's talking to Tom and he's like, am I allowed to blackmail you? Greg is just like the perfect, he's like how like a regular person would react to being in that world.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to blackmail you or something like that?
Yeah. So, four of
yeah.
them are Succession and 4 of them are from White Lotus season 2. So,
well, we'll talk about that in 2024 when the Emmys actually happen.
Yeah,
because
that's officially been delayed, right?
Yeah, last week we talked about how it's been delayed because of the writers' strike and the SAG strike, and we have more strike updates. Actually, this is a good transition into one of the topics here for entertainment. We don't have This Week in Entertainment because we are
out of projects.
We are running out of projects. There's like 1 or 2 fringe movies. I'm like, I'm not going to waste my breath talking about this.
Yeah, because it's more important to talk about the what's going on with the strike.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to spend entertainment talking about something, I'm not going to support projects that people are currently striking. I'm going to talk about the strike. And this is a couple of big updates here. So first, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers met with the Writers Guild. But it seems like it may have backfired because...
Oh, no! We suck again!
So, they met trying to get people back to work, but yes, that's essentially what happened.
Oh, no! We suck again!
It's becoming comically bad for the producers. I don't think you can find really anybody who supports their side of this because they go into this meeting, they offer the same deal to the writers that they gave to the directors. And now a lot of people in the industry and in the news media are saying that it was a bad deal that the directors signed in retrospect, looking at all the stuff that's come up about how the studios and production companies view these creatives and, are planning on using AI. The producers wouldn't concede on preserving writers' rooms or implementing success-based residuals, which is huge for streaming projects. Because they need to be able to measure how they're doing in order to, get decent living residual wages. And they kept saying stuff like, quote, people just want to get back to work. The Writers Guild agrees with that, of course.
Oh, good for you!
Right.
Yeah, they wish they want people to go back to work, but under their conditions.
Right. And the Writers Guild is like, we want to go back to work, but we just want to work under fair deals. And the reason we know all this happened in the meeting, and this is the most hilarious aspect of this, is that during this meeting, the producers repeatedly asked for a media blackout. And the writers were like, no.
Yeah.
And so they posted the whole thing on their website.
Well, yeah, why would we do that?
I don't think that you go to a negotiation and be like, can we please not talk about this if you're in the right? Like, if you're in the right, you're like, please talk about it more.
Right. If you had truly had nothing to hide, or you thought you were on the righteous side, yeah, you wouldn't have anything to hide.
Yeah, like you're in communications and marketing. You wouldn't go in and be like, no, don't talk about this, but this is a really good deal. Like, this is
just for you.
You're never going to get a better deal, but please don't ever mention this to anyone, ever, anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't, like, an idiot could see that doesn't add up.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Why do you want to hide it if it's so freaking good? So, that's happening. I think they're digging the whole deal. I can't find a single person that really supports the producers in this.
Yeah.
I think they'd be crazy to be like, yeah, the monopolies are right.
Yeah, right?
The probability on 1 4-wheel machine is 1.5 million to 1. On 3 machines in a row, it's in the billions. It cannot happen. Would not happen. You Momo, what's the matter with you?
That's what I feel like.
What's the matter with you?
It just would not happen. But something that is happening, though, this is pretty big news. The MCU visual effects artists are voting or have voted to formally unionize, and they hope to join IATSE, the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. So I don't know how you say this. I think they abbreviate it as IATSE or ATSE. They represent hair and makeup artists, wardrobe, lighting, prop personnel, and others. But visual effects artists, animators were never part of this union. But as we know recently, the past couple of decades, visual effects artists have been some of the most overworked people on movie productions.
Yep.
I think most famously, one of the biggest ones was when Life of Pi won, I forget what it won. It won a whole bunch of awards, and it won for like visual effects. And then like a week or two after the Oscars, the visual effects studios that worked on the game went out of business because like they were just never paid by the production studios that used them to make Life of Pi. And that movie about a boy being stranded on a boat with a tiger was 100% CG because you can't put a small boy on a boat with a tiger in the middle of the ocean.
Not yet.
Not yet. But if the writers and actors don't get back to work, they may be forced to.
Wait until the remake happens in 15 years.
One boy, one tiger.
No
one
CGI.
No CGI. Life of Pi.
Take that, bitches.
It's a wild world out there. It could happen. So yeah, the visual effects artists are like, hey, you know, we have some of the worst turnaround times. You're just thinking about a boy getting mauled by a tiger in a boat now.
No CGI. We put an actual boy in danger to make this movie.
That's like the next Netflix reality TV show.
Yeah.
I'd tune in. It's Tiger King 3.
Yeah, this
is
right.
what it is. Tiger Prince.
Tiger Prince.
Yeah. Because he's a boy.
Right.
Have you read Life of Pi?
No.
It's a boy.
Excellent. What a synopsis.
It's a boy stranded on a boat with a tiger.
I want that on the back sleeve of the
that's
on the life of on the
No, that's the movie poster. Life of Pi. It's a boy.
It's a boy. There you go. That's what I want.
It's not a man, it's a boy.
Quotation Michael Costanzo.
Michael Costanzo, 2023. Yes. But back to the visual effects artists because they have terrible turnaround times. They have no protected hours. They have no pay equity. You know, when you look at these are the Marvel visual effects artists specifically, those movies are almost all CG. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of movies are almost all CG, with the exception of Christopher Nolan, who's casually setting off atomic explosions on set.
Yeah. No big deal.
No big deal, or close to it. But there's movies so rely on visual effects, it's insane that they're not unionized and they have no protections.
Yeah.
You know, it's really upsetting. So it's good to hear that they're voting, or they have voted. It's official. They're going to try and jump in with this, the theatrical stage employees. For their part, the Theatrical Stage Employees Union have been campaigning to include visual effects artists and animation workers in their union for a while now. And, of course, with SAG and the WGA on strike, you know, it's only a matter of time, I think, before these visual effects artists go on strike as well. Because this is the way the tides are turning. And if they can keep the momentum, if you can get even more segments of Hollywood to strike and boycott and things like that, really put the pressure on these studios. Because do you know what will really hinder their AI plans? Not having visual effects artists to create the digital actors and actresses
or
with the AI.
How about just not having a stream of content right now?
Yeah.
That's really going to be a huge issue coming up soon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because, like, you know, if there are projects that can get by without actors and writers, if they can, like, you know, create something entirely in CG or animated, but if these guys go on strike, they won't even have that. They'll have nothing.
Yep.
So it's only a matter of time. Really tough times for Hollywood, but all for a good cause. If we want to continue enjoying entertainment the way that we have the past couple decades, fantastic TV shows and movies and big spectacles, we got to treat these people right. We got to get them paid so they can keep making amazing content.
Yep, but the powers that be still don't see it that way. So we'll keep updating you as the strike continues, but right now it's still just no end in sight.
No, it's dragging on, and everything's been pushed out. And
so make sure you go back and catch up on all your HBO shows.
Yeah, we may actually have to implement that new segment.
Yeah.
About what
did we miss?
Yeah, like, I don't know, backlog in entertainment or something.
Yeah.
But speaking of backlogs, in another section of entertainment here, video games, if you never got the chance to play the original Red Dead Redemption, you're in luck because Rockstar is re-releasing the game, but on PlayStation 4 and Switch. Not PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Not Xbox Series X.
And not within the confines of Red Dead Redemption 2.
No. This is a really bizarre move.
Yeah. This doesn't make any sense because the thing with Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a prequel to the first Red Dead Redemption,
like a direct prequel for those who've played the game. It like flows right into it, basically.
Yeah. There was a whole segment of the Red Dead Redemption 2 map that has like the references to the first Red Dead Redemption games.
Yeah.
So a lot of people thought, "Oh my God, what a brilliant idea! They'll re-release the first Red Dead Redemption game as like a downloadable content or add-on to the Red Dead Redemption 2 map, and you could play the whole Red Dead Redemption saga in one saga.
Like one connected map, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
And like updated visuals and sound and AI. No.
And then Rockstar lays out this fart.
So, I mean, it really is a huge dud.
That was the actual fanfare.
Yes, that's how they announced it. No, I mean, this is a huge dud. I mean, they're bringing out Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation 4 and Switch. 0 enhancements. Like, none. This is a 13-year-old game that came out on the PlayStation 3. Nothing. It's Red Dead Redemption and the Undead Nightmare DLC. And there's, like, new languages, but no 4K, no frame rate, no multiplayer, no, like you said, bundled with Red Dead Redemption 2, no, like, any special bonuses or additions. It's just the game that you played 13 years ago, but for some reason it costs $50.
Yeah, for PS4 and the Nintendo Switch.
And I can, I saw the argument online. People were like annoyed when The Last of Us was remastered for PlayStation 5. But that was they replaced like all the visuals, right? They like completely redid character models and stuff and like upscaled everything.
And they put the Last of Us 2 combat system in that game.
Yeah, they kind of tried to like adapt some of those elements and, freshen it up a bit. So there was actual work being done. It wasn't just a straight port of the original title. I still think
it also made sense too because the TV show was coming out.
The TV show was coming out, right? Exactly.
I can get that. Like,
right. I think the price tag was still a little ridiculous for Last of Us Part 1.
Sure.
But they put work into it.
Right.
This is just
there was a timing element to it too.
But like go and look at the trailer that they have for this announcement. It's just the PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
They didn't do a single thing. Like I was like, okay, when they re-released Grand Theft Auto 5,
yeah,
the first time, and they did like the first person view and like updated graphics, I was like, okay,
right,
like a completely different way to play the game. I get that, but this is absurd now.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I'm losing a lot of respect and trust for Rockstar because it used to be there was a time where it was like Grand Theft Auto 4, Red Dead Redemption, LA Noire, Grand Theft Auto 5. It was like boom, 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 like every 2 or 3 years. In the past, decade and a half, we've gotten Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Re-released.
And then multiple re-releases. And I get it from a business perspective. It makes perfect sense. But it's just so disheartening to see one of the premier open world single player game studios just devolve to this. They're worse than EA in some regards. At least EA puts out new players on every edition of Madden.
Translation, they need to start whatever Grand Theft Auto 6 timeline is, it needs to be bumped up. I don't know.
But like I'm worried, what is Grand Theft Auto 6? Is there even a single player component? I know they've said there will be, but do you have much hope for it?
Yeah. I mean, I still think they have the capability to come up with a great story.
But do they want to?
If they lose that ability, oh yeah, now you're talking about some depths of hell.
I mean, they did a good job with Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's clear their focus is on Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yes, and that's where they have had all their updates and everything like that. But I still think you can, until they release a single player mode that fails, I think they still get the green light on that.
Okay, so Red Dead Redemption 2, when that came out several years ago, that bought them some extra time in your eyes.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I thought that was one of the best stories.
Red Dead Redemption 2 was a masterpiece.
Yes.
It was incredible. I'm just worried that the industry has changed so much since then that, you know, with live service games and renewed focus on multiplayer and, you know, constant updates, I just worry that the single player components are going to suffer. I don't know. Call me pessimistic, but like Rockstar the past, what was it? Like, God, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2012?
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, it's been like 10 years.
11 years they've put out 2 games.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It just, and the way that they price the games and the way that they gate everything behind in-game transactions and different currencies, it's just a really pretty mobile game. You know, I just worry about Grand Theft. They say that it's going to have a strong single-player component. I'm sure it will. But, like, how much more are they going to reserve for the multiplayer? You know? Like, you're just going to get, like, a very basic single-player experience and just save the really cool stuff for the online.
Well, yeah, if it goes that route, then, yeah, Rockstar's going to be in a heap of trouble.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Just worries me.
But I will say the deadline on Grand Theft Auto 6 needs to be firm at this rate. Because it's been forever.
So, are you going to go get Red Dead Redemption again?
No. No, I've played it
There
enough
you go.
times. I'm good. Thank you. With that, though, there is one other segment that we are going to get into, and that is the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda de bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo, odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story that keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to, and why is it always Florida?
Actually, Joe Chapek, our super fan, has decided to throw you a curveball.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I don't know baseball. This is going to be tough.
Super fan Chapek is on the beat for us, and he wants us to talk about this crazy odd news story. So for that, we're going to give him a sausage shout-out. Sausage! There you go. And by the way, a reminder that if you send us any news topic that we talk about, we give you a sausage shout-out as well. Sausage! So make sure you tweet, X at us. Oh, my God. Whatever.
X us.
X us? Is this what we're
It
going with?
sounds so wrong.
Whatever Twitter used to, whatever
if you
Twitter is.
want the crispy noodles sausage,
you have to X us.
You have to X us.
Dear God. Sausage! I don't know how you do it. But anyway, make sure you tweet.
They're still called retweets.
Yeah, so, I don't know, it's still tweeting? I don't know, whatever. Anyway,
just from a branding perspective, side note, Twitter was, like, great. They had the little bird logo.
Yeah.
It's a Twitter. The birds are twittering. You're tweeting. You're retweeting. It just made sense. X makes no sense.
No, re-Xing?
Re-Xing? I'm going to X you. X at me?
Yeah, I don't know what you
Did you
call
read
it.
this X? What does that even mean? Yeah, I've seen an X before.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, do what Superfan Chapek did, and that is send a message to either me or the Crispy Noodle account.
Not me.
Yeah, not Mike, because if it's odd news, we want him to be completely blind going into it. So make sure you tweet at me, at Rich Liebig, or at the Crispy Noodle. And that is what Superfan Chapek did. So he gets the sausage shout out. Sausage! And he wants us to talk about this story. Going to Japan in this one.
Oh, we haven't been international in a while.
Yeah, going to Japan over here.
We cannot achieve much with so small penis, but you, wow, penis so big penis.
Oh.
There you go.
All right.
South Park there. But anyway, you could say that the dog days are just beginning for this Japanese man. And that is because a Japanese man has decided to spend $14,000 to create his own costume so he can live out his dream of being a collie.
You're the man now, dog.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
You're the man now, dog.
Yep, he is literally the man now, dog.
What do you mean, live out his dream?
Oh, well, that's great. You phrase it like that because soon I'll be able to give you some visuals.
Oh, I'm very frightened. Okay. Wait, you said $14,000?
Yes.
For
a custom-made collie costume.
Oh, my God.
The private Japanese citizen who only goes by Toko online says that the garment has actualized his dream of becoming an animal that he's always wanted to do.
Okay.
He has a YouTube channel in which he has 32,000 subscribers and shows how he likes to frolic on a lawn, roll on the floor, and play fetch as a dog, as he's always wanted to do in life.
This is a weird sex thing, right?
Well, actually, there's no sex associated with
Yeah,
this.
but there's no way. No, he's like a furry, but like a photorealistic furry.
Well, let's see.
This is weird. He's rolling around on the ground. He's frolicking through the
Well,
flowers.
it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
It doesn't mention here that it's for sexual purposes. He says this is something he's always wanted to do for his life.
What is this like the scene in Step Brothers? He's like, I always wanted to be a T-Rex. Do you remember that scene?
I mean, maybe, I guess, but Mike, no.
You stupid fucking dinosaur! Get the fuck out of here!
I knew we'd come back to dinosaurs somehow.
Yeah, stop
I always
it, Mike.
wanted to be a dinosaur.
Stop it, Mike.
Fun fact.
That dinosaur's been working my nerves all night.
Fun fact, that scene was improv.
Oh, well, good for you, Jack, but this is not a dinosaur.
No?
This is a collie. Bystanders are in awe in the middle of this viral clip.
They're in awe, yeah.
Yes.
Because a full-grown man is crawling around on all fours going, bark, bark, bark.
Well, I had to...
Does he know any tricks?
Yeah, well, he'll do some tricks.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. This is so creepy.
I wanted to mention this part.
Please tell me there's a video, though.
This is the highlighted part here that I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
They asked me in grade school, what did I want to be when I grew up? And I vividly remember that I said I wanted to be a dog and I wanted to walk outside.
So does every 5-year-old. Doesn't mean you actually become a dog.
Yes, no. Yes, you do. You do become a dog now.
Oh, my God.
You live out your dreams now.
You know what? I mean, the fact that he just has $14,000 to piss away, becoming a dog, go ahead. Sure. Why not?
I declare bankruptcy!
I mean, basically.
Probably did after that
you just
purchase.
empty the account and like, oh, what big purchase. This is a weird midlife crisis.
Yes.
Most people just buy cars or,
yes,
I don't know, whatever people do. How do you have a midlife crisis? I don't know. Become a dog.
Yeah. In an interview with the New York Post, Toko says that he always had a dream of becoming a dog ever since he was a child. And now he has, quote, fulfilled that dream.
Okay.
And you said you wanted some pictures.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's him. He has done the impossible. He has a full-blown Collie
That is-
costume.
that is a man in a dog outfit.
It is.
I mean, it's a really good looking outfit, though.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, it really does look realistic.
I mean, from a distance.
I mean, that's what $14,000 gets you.
Yeah, what does the knockoff version look like? Like, this is the premium.
Bark.
What's the what, bark, bark,
Bark.
bark, woof.
Bark.
What's the Walmart version of this?
Yeah.
That's no, I mean, that's impressive. It's creepy. There's like a person for the audio listeners, like the one shot. There's like a woman like crouching down, like shaking the dog's paw, like, oh, so cute, a pup. No, this is a full grown man.
Yes.
You're shaking. A man is crawling on his hands and knees towards you in a public park, and you go, oh, give me your paw. And this guy's like, yeah.
With a deep voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is so creepy. That is so. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Toko. This is perverted. Like,
Mike's had enough.
he's just crawling around on all fours, going up to random strangers and like giving them his quote unquote paw.
The
I
fake
don't know.
paw.
That's so weird.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
This whole thing makes me uncomfortable. Does this not make you uncomfortable?
You sound like Herm Edwards. This whole conversation is making me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or no, what was it? It bothers me. This whole conversation bothers me. Yeah.
Playoffs? No.
No,
Wait,
no,
that's that was Jim Mora.
No, play to win the game is Herm
Play to win the
Edwards.
game is yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm mixing up two famous football quotes.
Yeah. For those that are wondering who created the lifelike costume, the company is called Zeppet.
Zeppet. Look them up.
This is the company that manufactured the Collie costume. Says it took 40 days to do the whole thing. They said it cost 2 million yen, which roughly comes out to $14,160. Modeled after a Collie dog, it reproduces the appearance of a real dog walking on 4 legs, according to the blurb from Zeppet. Toko, obviously, though, feels somewhat embarrassed about this and says that he hides this fact about his life from most of his friends and family.
No, he doesn't. He's on our podcast. If you've made it this far, everybody knows.
Well, he doesn't. We only know him as Toko. That's not his real name.
Oh, that's not okay.
That's his
so
alias.
He's still a secret.
I mean, as long as he can hide his identity, yes.
It's
going
to
to
be pretty hard.
But I think it's sooner or later. I think it's going to leak at some point.
Like, oh, where'd Bob go? It's just like a giant, like human-sized collie crawling around in this public park. Where did Bob go? I don't know. I'm so upset at this whole story.
Where did Mikey go? Hey, look, a 40-pound dog. Where'd you come from, boy?
That's like a weirdly big dog. I
love how you make it like Superman. Like he just goes off to like a phone booth and just.
He just takes off his glasses. Is like dog mode. Like, I don't know. Bob disappeared, but there's like this like 150-pound like bulldog that's like 6 feet long.
Where did he come from?
Where did he come from? I don't know, but he's a good boy.
I would have thought we'd seen this coming a mile away.
Oh my god.
You represent what I detest. You're a punk walking in the back door with your hand open, looking for a free lick.
He's looking for a free lick, that's for sure.
I never thought that specific Ric Flair clip would be appropriate to a, non-wrestling story, but I guess it kind of does. Thank you, Ric Flair.
You represent what I detest. You're a punk walking in the back door with your hand open, looking for a free lick.
So I'm on this Zeppet website.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a lot of like really impressive modeling, but like these are super expensive.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what 20 million yen is, but you can get a polar bear family for 20 million yen.
Well, I mean, this one is $14,000 right here. So he is living his dream of being a dog.
Oh, it's $140,000 US.
Oof.
You can buy a whole family of fake polar bears for if you have 140,000 lying around. I'm so annoyed. I don't know.
I declare bankruptcy.
There you go.
I don't know where to.
The only thing I can think of is this classic clip.
You're the man now, dog.
Literally.
I mean, yeah, he's literally the man now, dog. Or it should be backwards. You're the dog. You're now the dog man.
You're the You're the dog man now, dog man.
You're the dog now, man.
You're the dog now, man.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So, okay. He's acquired this dog costume. Is this like his weekend? Like
yes.
He's like, oh, I'm going to go be a dog. And then does he just crawl around outside for a while? And then just goes in? He's like, that was fun.
That's my weekend.
Is that he goes back to the office like, what did you do this weekend? Well, I walked the dog.
Yeah. There you go. That sounds about right.
I'd rather play video games, honestly.
You can get a lot of video games for $14,000.
You can get a lot of video games for $14,000.
Yeah. So
he's a dog.
Yep. He's the dog now, man.
I think it'd be hilarious though if you're just like out in like a public park in Japan, you see this dog walk in.
No,
like,
no. I want.
No, he's crawling.
I want this. No, I want what you said. The super. Like he's actually like having a beer with somebody, and then
like, oh, pardon me, I have a phone call, and then just disappears, and out trots this 6-foot-long border collie.
Hey, look at that!
Like, oh, that's a weirdly big dog.
Where'd you come from?
But like, where? How does his legs? Because human legs are not the same as dog legs. Where do his legs go? I can't see in the picture.
It's just behind him. He is. Yeah, I mean,
but he's like,
it's all behind him.
But like, no, because when you crawl, your legs are like not the same shape as a dog leg.
But yeah, but they have the. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's like the way that the suit is made, it makes it look like the legs are just behind him. I get what you're trying to say.
Can he move in the suit, or does he just sit there?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Like, I want to see this dude crawling around, right?
It says in the news article he frolics on the lawn, plays fetch, so I guess he can move full blown.
He plays fetch? Well, I found a YouTube video. My computer's muted, but oh my God, it's terrifying. Oh no, this is watching an emotion is way worse.
Oh no. Okay, well that's why we don't have video here.
No, it looks like a man in a dog outfit. No, actually that's pretty good. It's so creepy, Rich. Its front paws are like so big. Oh man.
Mike is all over the place. He's frightened, he's scared,
I'm frightened.
he's curious.
I'm feeling so many emotions right now. I think I want to be a dog now, I think is what this is doing to me.
You know, I always, you know,
if you could be an animal.
What's the thing where they say in high school like you're supposed to do like if money wasn't an issue, what would you do?
Not
and then
this.
And then that's supposed to be like what you actually should go into like your field in high school. Remember there was like a test that was like that?
Yeah.
I bet you this guy put I want to be a dog.
Dog.
And they're like, I guess do you want to be a veterinarian?
He took the aptitude test and it came back dog.
Yeah. Like what how do we translate that into a career skill?
You know, if he wasn't afraid to go public with it, he could be like a performer that like parents rent out at parties. No, that's super weird.
No, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, you can't make a career out of being a dog.
No, you cannot.
Oh, he could be a seeing eye dog. You're like, stop, there's a car.
Bark.
Bark. Bark. No, there's a car.
Bark, car. Bark, bark. Red light. Bark.
It's so weird. Do people pet him?
Oh my God. I mean,
like this is the thing. Like like he can move. He frolics. So he goes out. This is his hobby. His hobby is put on his suit and he goes and frolics. And like little kids like, oh, mommy, a dog. And then like
woof,
woof,
bark.
He's like woof, woof, woof. Like it's creepy.
Thanks, kid.
Thanks, kid. That's a good pet. Can I have another?
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
I'll roll over for a treat. Like, it's so creepy.
Yeah. But
all right, that
there
was.
you go.
Thank you, Superfan Chapek, for that nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare. I'm an odd news story. Just gonna, instead of counting sheep, I'm gonna be counting human-sized dogs. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Welcome to 2023. Nothing makes sense since 2019.
Yeah, we debuted that statement in 2019, and I feel like we doomed the world.
Yes, we did.
Like, oh, nothing makes sense, and then immediately just the world just spiraled out of control.
Yeah. And now we've got Japanese.
We've got people
men
being
dog.
dogs. Yeah, that's what they warned us about. They said people want to be dogs and cats and stuff. And well, here you go.
Yep. You're the dog now, man.
You're the dog now, man.
It doesn't sound right, but it's true.
You're the dog now, man.
Yeah, take that.
There has to be a new website.
Yeah. Sorry, YTMND.com. You got to switch it.
That was impressive.
You got to switch the letters now.
Oh, God.
If that's still even around. That was a great website. But, yeah. I feel that sigh, even just only on the audio podcast, that sigh had so much weight to it.
It really did. I feel like dealing with this odd news story has been a labor.
Wow. All right. Well,
that was something we've never quite had something. I'm so perturbed, but also so intrigued.
Well, yeah, Mikey has run the gauntlet of emotions.
That was a good one.
I've finished Joe Chapek's story, so I think on that note, we got to start wrapping this up then. Mike needs to...
I am winded after that. I didn't do anything. I didn't roll around or frolic like that man dog. I feel just as winded, though.
Yeah, we need to have Mike recover now for the rest of the week after that story.
Yeah.
And so on that note, we're going to start wrapping up this episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting us. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Yeah, I'm not going to get used to it. It's still weird.
I'm going to call it Twitter.
Yeah. Can we all just collectively...
society, just be like, no.
Yeah.
It's Twitter.
Yeah. But most importantly, and this is the thing you need to listen to, make sure you have a way to get a hold of our podcast every Wednesday, whether that is through YouTube, where you go to YouTube and just hit that subscribe button, whether it's through Facebook Watch. You can watch us straight through Facebook if that works out for you, or on Spotify. We do the video podcast on Spotify, but also you can take Spotify in the background on the go and listen to us as an audio-only podcast, and therefore you can put us on Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and take us on the go. So if you're going to go pet any weird 150-pound
creepy dog men,
yeah, you can take us on the go with you on Spotify as well.
You can listen about the dog man as you go to meet up with the dog man.
Yeah.
Pet the dog man.
Correct.
You can keep that to yourself, though, but if you want to share your other sports, entertainment, and non-news stories with us, you can find us on X. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo. This week I remembered.
Good job, Mike.
How to spell my name.
Good job, Mike. And I am at Richliebig, RICHLIEBIG. Tweet us or X us or whatever the hell it is. I don't know.
It's so dumb.
But just do what Superfan Chapek did, and we'll give you a sausage shout
Get
out.
in touch. We'll slip you the sausage. We'll talk about your dog man.
Perfect. All right, we got to wrap it up. This is going off the rails. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night. Bark, bark.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.